G'day guys, my name is Matt Urquhart. I'm here today to give you a few tips on finding the right leg length for your new Slipstream Surf X. Traditionally with sizing your leg length for a ski, we've had to sit in jigs and it's been replica cockpits of a ski. It's been a little bit unnatural because there's no pedals, there's no cable, things just don't quite feel right. So Slipstream have come up with an adjustable single that you can sit in, tinker around with, go for a paddle and find the exact right leg length for yourself. It's also good for juniors coming through with growth spurts and stuff like that. There's room to move basically in a ski. So starting off with getting your position right, a few things to point out is that when sitting in the ski, we want to make sure that we're sitting on our sitting bones and not on our bum cheeks. It's sort of a common misconception that you sort of just sit in the ski and away you go. Posture is really important, and posture is what's helping eliminate inefficiencies in the drivetrain of your stroke. So when you get in the ski, loosen everything off so it's nice and loose, bring it right back, just throw your legs in and gently just sort of push out foot bar until you're in a good position. Usually try and lift your bum up and get yourself right around so that you're sitting right on your sitting bones. You want the back of your bum up against the back of the seat nice and fairly firmly, but not too tight. So once you sort of get into that position, you've got your heels on the bottom of the footwell, you're also up against the foot plate. You want to make sure in a ski your stability is coming from your heels. It's because you're steering and stuff, it's hard to actually put a lot of pressure on your feet without changing the direction of your ski. So a lot of your stability is going to come through your heels and having a good foundation to work off. So it's a trade-off between making sure you've got enough room to move and actually drive through your stroke, but also being firm enough in the ski that you're stable and that you're not going to, if you get hit by a wave, you can actually brace and not come out. So once you've found that position that feels not too bad, just tighten up the middle screw here just a little bit, so it's a little bit firm, so that you can put a little bit of pressure on your heels. And what we're trying to do is just want to make sure that you can get good range of movement through your legs. When taking your stroke, it's important that your leg drive is matching your catch. So what I mean is that as your blade enters the water, you're getting pressure on that same leg that's driving down from your heel, through your knee, through your hip, and rotating your pelvis round. So it's a real swing through the stroke like that. So to start off with, just try and make sure that you've got enough room that you can do that. Typically, in older skis with flat decks, you put your fists under your knees and that sort of gives you a decent benchmark. What Slipstream's done is actually put in a cutaway so that you can get faster, more forward-moving starts, and also it actually, having a cutaway allows you to facilitate more leg drive through your stroke without actually hitting the deck of the ski. So the rule of thumb with using your fist is a little bit outdated now with new ski designs. So what we want to do is make sure we've got that nice good range of movement. Once you've got that there, don't worry about your pedals until the end. We can adjust them at the end, but just make sure that everything's sort of comfortable. You're nice and firm up against the back. It's not too tight that you're going to slouch around or that you're going to sort of fall forward. You want to make sure that when you drive down, you can get your leg to not quite, but almost straight, and you can twist around your stroke. So once that's tight, just move up and tighten the other screws up here. Give them a quick tighten up. Okay, so once they're in position, just get back in the ski. Again, lift your bum up, make sure you're sitting in that good position. You want to make sure they've got a little bit of pelvic tilt. So things that usually stop that are a low abdominal strength or really tight hamstrings. So they're things to keep in mind when you're sizing your ski. We just want to make sure that as we drive through our heel, we've got enough room to move from our heel, through our knee, through our hip, right around. Just making sure we've got enough room to swing. And then once that's sort of sorted out, you feel comfortable, you can put good pressure on your heels. We'll then adjust the pedals here, and that's just a matter of shimmying the cords through, and just it's also about personal preference when it comes to this point. Some people like the pedals nice and upright, others like to lay them forward a bit. So that's sort of something to play around with once you get the ski in the water and there's a bit of balance, and you've got to try and work out what sort of makes you feel comfortable. You can tinker with that as time goes on. So I guess they're the main sort of pointers to start off with. Just make sure you're comfortable. Don't be afraid to play around with it, and it's probably best to have a good paddle in one of Slipstream's adjustable singles. And once you're right, you can give your measurements to Gav, and no chocks, and you're right to go straight away. Thanks guys, see you on the water.